السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله، الحمد لله، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما. I welcome you all to the class of تهذيب محاضرات في علم الصرف, and today inshallah ta'ala we'll read again اسم المفعول, as well as inshallah ta'ala we will do some exercises of ismul maf'ul. So let's read inshallah ta'ala of ismul maf'ul. Ismul maf'ul wasfun. Ismul maf'ul is also a wasf, mushtaqun, which is derived يدل على الحدث ومن وقع عليه الحدث. So this is وقع عليه. It's not اسم الفاعل, this is اسم المفعول. المفعول من الكلمة, الحدث المفهوم من الكلمة, كما في قوله تعالى إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين. Indeed, the zakah is for the فقراء and مساكين. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة. And the ones who عاملين, who are collecting the zakah, and مؤلفة قلوبهم, and مؤلفة يؤلف. So this is the ismul maf'ul, and whose hearts are to be brought closer to Islam. وفي الرقاب والغارمين في سبيل الله وابن السبيل, and in freeing necks, slaves and debtors who are in debts, وفي سبيل الله, and in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for jihad and other stuff, and وابن السبيل, and wayfarer. وقوله عز وجل وقالت اليهود يد الله مغلولة. They said Allah's hands are fettered, Allah's hands are tied up. غلت أيديهم, Allah says their hands be tied up. وَلُعِنُوا بِمَا قَالُوا, and they will be cursed of what they are saying. لُعِنُوا بِمَا قَالُوا. So how do you form اسم المفعول? ويصاغ اسم المفعول من الأفعال المبنية المجهول. You will take the verb and make it passive and then create اسم المفعول. If it is 3 letters, فإن كان الفعل ثلاثيا جاء اسم المفعول منه على وزن مفعول. It will be on the pattern of مفعول if it is 3 letters. For example, kataba, you make maktub. Akala, makul, the thing being eaten, written. Sa'ala, mas'ul. Qara'a, maqru. Read, shadda, mashdud, tied. And then mawdu'. Now, wada'a is to be placed. So mawdu', something which is placed. Shadda is to firm, fast also, to become strong. So things, mashdud is a thing being strong, hard. And then from qama and sama, you'll make maqul and masum. It'll become babi, it'll become wow. The alif will change into a wow. Then from ba'a, it'll become mabi, it'll become a ya, because it's asluhu al ya, mabi and masir. And then from da'a, it'll come back to its original. So any alifs, ajwafs in between, or naqis at the end, you'll bring it back. Mad'uvun, marjuvun. And then ya comes, it will become maqdiyun. And then mabniyun, which is fixed, bana yabni. Raja is to hope, so anything majru. So you have to bring the asl back. And if there's waw and ya, it'll be changed, both of them will be changed into a ya. Mabni, maqdi, because it was actually maqduyun. And mabniyun was also mabnuyun. And we know if waw and ya come together and the first one is sakin, the waw will be changed to a ya. The waw will be changed to a ya. It will become mabniyun, and maqdiyun. Similarly, wa'a maw'iyun, it'll change matwiyun. Wa is to understand, so anything being understood, maw'i. And tawa is to fold. So you should be able to do this, inshallah ta'ala. How to create. We'll look at the exercises also, how to create. وإن كان الفعل غير الثلاثي جاء اسم المفعول منه على وزن مضارعه مع إبدال حرف المضارعة ميما مضمومة وفتح ما قبل الآخر. If the verb is غير ثلاثي, how do you do? How you make اسم المفعول? You have to take the مضارع and change the you or ya to mu or ma. مفعول. For example, شاهد will become مشاهد. مشاهد. And you should give the fatha to the second last letter. مشاهدة اسم المفعول. So اسم الفاعل will be مشاهد. اسم المفعول will be مشاهد. اجتمع مجتمع. Society is called. اجتمع is to gather. So the society itself is called مجتمع. The thing being gathered. مستخرج, the thing being extracted. How do you do when there are two lams or مضاعف in more than three letters? Well, same thing. محتل. احتل. يحتل. احتلال is to occupy something, I believe. احتل. حل يحل is to tie. But we want form 8. And form 8 is to settle down. Okay. Settle down or occupy. Occupy. احتل. And اشتد is to become severe. So you'll make محتل is the place occupied or the thing being occupied. And this is mushtad, the thing being severe. Mushtad. Ishtadda ishtaddu. Then we have أعان. أعان يعين. So you'll say, because it's an alif, it'll change back to an alif. It'll become mu'an. So the ismul fa'il will be mu'in and ismul maf'ul will be mu'an. Because أعان is what? The alif is a waw. أعوان. أعوان, no? And then you make it mudare, yu'winu. Yu'winu. And you want to make it mu'win. I mean, mu'wan. Mu'wan. Right? Mu'wan is the one who's being helped. Then we have the rule, right? إذا تحرك حذف التي وجاء قبله حذف صحيح ساكن. You'll transfer this to the ain. And then it will become, it itself will become an alif. So this fatha will go there. And then it'll become an alif. So it become mu'an. Mu'an. Mu'in is the helper. The one being helped is mu'an. Like ista'ana, ista'inu. Musta'in, the helper. Musta'an, the one whose help should be sought. Ihtaja, same thing. Muhtaj, the one who's in need. Ikhtara, the one who's chosen. Mukhtar. By the way, the ismul fa'il of these things are the same as ismul maf'ul. Because mukhtara was actually mukhtayara. And then the rule applied. إذا تحرك حذف التي وانفتح ما قبله. Ya has a fatha and previous letter is also fatha. It will change into mukhtar. Mukhtar. Now, ismul fa'il also is mukhtayir with a kasra. Ya has a kasra. Mukhtayir. Both become an alif. Mukhtayir. This is mukhtayar, ismul maf'ul. Ismul fa'il with a kasra. But when they are changing, both will change alif. So ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul both are mukhtar, mukhtar. But the meaning wise it changes. Mukhtar is the one. So mukhtar could be the one who chooses or the chosen one. Okay. What about the amal of it? Can it do amal? Yes, like ismul fa'il it can also do amal. So فكما أن الفعل المبني المجهول يرفع نائب فاعل. It'll make نائب فاعل مرفوع. فكذلك اسم الملفوظ يرفع نائب فاعل. This will also make نائب فاعل مرفوع. غير أنه يشترط فيه لكي يعمل هذا العمل ما سبق أن عرفنا في عمل اسم الفاعل. Except their conditions. And what were the conditions? Remember that if al comes, it can do amal without any conditions. Like أن يكون مبدوءا بأل. If it starts with al, no problem. You can do amal like that. It can take like وَالْمُؤَلَّفَةُ قُلُوبُهُمْ. So this is called نائب فاعل of the ismul maf'ul. نائب فاعل of, no, we don't say fa'il here. We will say نائب فاعل of the ismul maf'ul. في الآية السابقة أو يكون معتمدا على النفي. Or it could be dependent on negation. On all the rules, if you remember ismul fa'il lessons, it could be dependent on negation. مثل ما منصور الكافر. The kafir is not helped. So this is naib file of Mansur. Why is it allowed here? Because negation. أو استفهام, it could be a question. أو مضيع الحق, will the truth be lost? ضيع يضيع, to be lost. So will the truth be lost? أو واقعا خبرا, or it could be كما ذا خبر, كما في قولك. I mean, it should be dependent on مبتدا, no? إن زيدا مقتول أخوه. Indeed, Zaid is killed, but Zaid is not the one who's killed. His brother is killed. Indeed, Zaid, his brother is killed. So مقتول أخوه, أخوه is called نائب فاعل of اسم المفعول. أو صفة, it could be صفة. هذا عالم محترم رأيه. This scholar is respected, but what is respected? His opinion is respected. Or it could be حال. حال. So محترم, why is it allowed here? Because this is a صفة, a nat of عالم. أو حال, it could be حال also. For example, وإن للمتقين لحسن مآب جنات عدن مفتحة لهم الأبواب. جنات, how will the gardens be? The open. فتح يفتح, open, a lot of open for them doors. Indeed, the believers muttaqin will be the best. Husna is good. Ma'ab is return. They will have the best return. جنات عدن مفتحة لهم الأبواب. You might be like, why not Sifa or Jannat, Gardens of Eden? Well, because of Fatha, Mufattahatan. That shows us this is Hal. I mean, if you look the Arab of this, I think somebody might have said this is Nat, because Hal should come for Ma'rifa, and Jannati Adnin is not Ma'rifa, correct? Jannati Adnin. So somebody could argue Arab Muyassar, Jannat أو أتف بيان لحسن ما وعد مضاف إليه. This is مضاف إليه. I mean مضاف إليه, yeah, okay, there might be condition مفتحة حال من جنات عدن. Because it cannot be an adjective describing the garden. Because the garden is not open. The doors are open. That's why they said حال والعامل فيها في المتقين في معنى الفعل. Yeah, they're saying حال. And abwabu will be called the naib file of mufattahatan. So why is abwabu has a dhamma? Because of mufattahatan. ويجوز هنا كذلك ما جاز في اسم الفاعل من قبل, and same things apply for اسم الفاعل وهو إضافته إلى معموله إذا تلاه. إضافته, you can do the مضاف مضاف إليه combination also to its معمول. فيمكن يقال الجبان مخلوع قلبه. Heedless. مخلوع means heedless. The coward one is heedless in his heart. So what you have done? You have taken this ismul maf'ul, and then this is the ma'amul of this. This is the amil, and this is naib file of makhlu. That's why it's getting a dhamma. Like a verb, imagine like a verb, no? Dhahaba Muhammadun, same thing. And then al-jabanu, or you can make it mudaf mudaf ilayh. You can make this mudaf ilayhi for this. So you can say al-jabanu makhlu'ul qalbi. Makhlu'ul qalbi. So here you will not see the dhamma because this is in a situation of mudaf mudaf ilayh. And with this ismul maf'ul, we are done. We have one exercise left for ismul maf'ul. Page number 50. A little tricky exercise maybe, because you have to go back and see the rules. How to create ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul. First one, صوغ اسم الفاعل والمفعول من الأفعال الآتية. So we've done the first exercise. We have to do this. There are 4x, 1, 2, yeah, the 4x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises. We've done the first one and we are doing the fourth one. صوغ اسم الفاعل والمفعول من الأفعال الآتية. So athara is to prefer. So how do you make it? So first you have to know athara, what are the root letters? Athara, it's Hamza, because the mud tells us, no? Athara. And then you made it um, form 4. Form 4. So that's why, like aslama. So it was actually a'thara. A'thara. So when you what do you say? When you make ismul file, how do you make ismul file? First, you have to ask the question: is this 3 letters or more than 3 letters? Well, you'll be like, okay, let's count 1, 2, 3. It's not 3. This mud is telling us there are two hidden there. Two hidden there. So it's a hamza. Like akala, we say ana akulu. I am eating. Similarly, athara, there's a hamza hidden there. So how do you make ismul file from this? Athara, you have to take the mudare. So athara yu'thiru, and then change the u to the mu. It'll become mu'thir. The one who's preferring mu'thir. And how do you make ismul maf'ul? Same thing. Mu'thar. I forgot. How do you write the hamza again? I forgot. I mean, it's the same thing. Mu'thar with a fatha here. Mu'thir, mu'thar. And if you want to check any verb, if you want to find out, I hope this will give you. If you go to this website, Al Maani, it should give you. If you just Maani is a very good website. Like this is the website, no? Thara. So it's giving you ism. I won't fail. Okay. Thara. Thar to Uthiru is giving the mudade also. And then you should give ismul file also. I believe he's given ta'athara. No, he did not give. But generally he gives ismul file. It's ta'athara. We don't want that. Athara. If you don't find it here, what you can do is آثر يؤثر إيثارا فهو مؤثر. See, he's given it here. تعريف معنى آثر في قاموس الكل. Yeah, he gave it below. فهو مؤثر والمفعول مؤثر. So for any verb, they'll generally give you ماضي, مضارع, مصدر, and فهو, that means فاعل, والمفعول مؤثر. They'll give you everything. So آثر يؤثر مؤثر. So prefer. So he gives the meaning also. آثر الشيء شيء فضله. That means he preferred it. واختاره, and he chose it. آثر البقاء بجوار والديه. He gives an example also. He preferred to live besides his parents. Or he gives بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا from the Quran. But you prefer the life of this world. So that is آثر يوسف. So what is اسم الفاعل اسم المفعول? مؤثر مؤثر. Next. تعالى. تعالى. تعالى means he was high. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, there are two problems here. I mean, 3 problems actually. It's more than 3 letters. Fine. It has an alif in between. What do you do with that? It has a ya at the end, or alif makhsura at the end. So all those rules you have to be careful. I mean, alif, nothing happens here. So what do you do? Take the mudare, ta'ala. The mudare is yata'ala. Ta'ala, yata'ala. And then you make the ismul fa'il, yata'ala, you change the ya. If you want to write, you can write yata'ala. Yata'ala. Correct? And then you change this to mu, muta'a, muta'a. And now ya, lam will get a kasra, because the second last should get a kasra, no? Ismul fa'il, mudarris. So muta'a li. But we know this is now ya lazima, before that kasra, the ya runs away. And it will become muta'alin. Muta'alin. I mean, I can't show it here because this thing, but muta'alin. If you bring the al, it comes back. Manqus rules apply. And the ya before that is kasra. They don't, Arabs don't like keeping it like that. Muta'ali, no. Muta'alin. If you bring al, it will become al-muta'ali. For ismul maf'ul, it will be, that means the one who is high. Muta'al. Muta'al also comes in the Quran, no? Muta'al, I believe. Muta'al. And then ismul maf'ul will be muta'ala. I mean, there it won't drop. Muta'ala. It'll be like this. Muta'al. I think it'll drop. I hear also. Muta'alan. Let me go to the website and see Al-Ma'ani. So you can search for ta'ala. Will it give me ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul? Ta'ala, ala yata'ala, ta'aliyan, fahuwa muta'alin. Al-maf'ul muta'alan. They're not dropping it. They're writing it like this. Muta'alan, like this. They're not dropping it for man. This will become maqsoor, no? Muta'alan, like this. Muta'alin and muta'alan. Next, irtada. Same thing. Because it has a ya at the end, is the same applies. So ismul irtada will become yartadi, the mudare, and the ismul maf'ul will become murtadin and murtadan. Same rule here. Our root letters are ra, dad, and ya. Irtada, yartadi form 8 to be satisfied. So the one who's satisfied is called murtadin or al-murtadi, and the one who has been satisfied. I mean, someone else is satisfied with someone, so it'll become murtada. And it's a name also, people keep names, murtada. That means he's one with whom Allah is satisfied, maybe. Murtada. And who is satisfied? Murtadin is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, for example, istabqa, to remain, kind of. Istabqa from baqiya, baqa from ya. Same thing again. It has a ya at the end, so mustabqin, mustabqan. So istabqa is to hold back. So the one who's holding back is mustabqin, and the thing or the person who's being held back is mustabqan. Can anyone tell me ikhtara? Ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul. We just discussed it. Ikhtara. Mukhtar, yeah. Mukhtar for ismul fa'il as well as for ismul maf'ul. But literally they are different. Mukhtar, Mukhtayir. No. Yeah, no problem. Mukhtayir and Mukhtayar. Same thing for inqada. Inqada. Inqada is to become humble, I believe. Inqada. So the root letter seem, qaf, ya, dal, from 7, right? In fa'ala, inqada. Qaf, waw, dal. Inqada, yanqadu, inqiyad. It is qaf, ya, dal. Qayyada, yuqayyidu. But okay, I'm not able to find the meaning of it, and he did not give it. But in qada li talabati ra'isihi mulghaman khada'a laha, to fulfill someone's request. In qada li awamir, implement. In qada is to implement. So the implementer will be munqad again. Implement someone's commands. And then ismul maf'ul will also be munqad. So munqad, both of them. Qala yaqulu, very simple, it is an alif, and remember ismul fa'il, the rule is qala will become qa'il with a hamza. So qawil, the waw will change into an hamza, qa'il, and ismul maf'ul is maqul. In Madina books we've done, inshallah. Saga, yasughu, to form. So this is again sa'igh, and masugh. Sala, sa'il, to flow, and then masul, something which is flowing. Masul. Oh no, this is sala yasilu. Saga yasub. Yeah, sala masil, I believe. Sala, Sailan, Sailan, Masilan. Yeah, because it's a yai. It'll become masil, like Mabia. Mabia. Ra'a. Ra'a. So Ra'a ismul fa'il. It has a ya at the end. How do you say the one who sees? Ra'a, yara. Fahuwa ra'in. It'll change into an hamza. Because the rule applies if ya comes at the end after alif zaida, it'll change into an hamza. So it'll become the one who's seeing ra'in with the hamza. The rule is I forgot. إذا تطرف حذف الإلة بعد ألف زائدة, after alif extra alif قلبت hamza or something. And then ismul maf'ul, it should have been mar'uyun, but ya and waw don't go together. The thing being washed will be mar'iyun. Mar'i. Mar'i. The view itself is called mar'i. Ismul maf'ul. Zada. Zada yazidu. So ismul fa'il should be mazid, and ismul maf'ul will be mazad. Mazad, zada. Because this is an alif, and then zada. So zada yazidu fahuwa zaid. Zaid is the ismul fa'il, and ismul maf'ul is mazud. Now, okay. What did I say? Maz. I said something else. Zada is like 3 letters. So zaid and mazud. I said mazad. That is something else. Mazad is an auction. Sadaqa is to speak the truth. Sadiq, mastuq. Ahada, to promise. Muahid, muahad. Qada, yaqdi. And this is to judge. So qadin and maqdiyun. Because it's a ya, maqduyun will become maqdiyun. Baddala is to change. So baddala, yubaddilu, mubaddil, mubaddal. Faz are to pass. Faiz, mafhuz, the one who's being passed. Ash, or thing being passed on. Something successful. Ashfaqa, mushfiq, mushfaq. Right? Because 4 letters. I hope it is clear, inshallah. If you're not clear with this, you should try it on your own. Take these, and because Sarf is all about exercises. Doing on your own, discovering stuff. Because like mathematics, how do you create and what conditions? You have to remember the rule and then apply the rule. That's why Sarf is a little tricky. But once you get the hang of it, it'll become easier. All right, today we'll do Sifa Mushabbaha. And you have an exercise for Sifa Mushabbaha also, inshallah. All right. So we are doing mushtaqat, no? We're doing mushtaqat. Mushtaqat are the nouns derived from verbs. And we've done ismul fa'il. And then we've done siyagh al-mubalagha, fa'al, fa'ul. 5 patterns is given, no? Fa'ul, mif'al, fa'al, fa'il, fa'il. 5 patterns. Now, Sifa Mushabbaha. What is Sifa Mushabbaha? It's a creation of a noun from a verb, but this is from intransitive verbs. So, Siyagh al-Mubalagha will be created from transitive verbs, like qattal, killing others, obviously. Ghaffar, to forgive, forgiving others, no? This is like intransitive, like you are Kareem, you are noble, like that. Rahim also, we could say. As-sifatul mushabbahatu. What is sifa? Sifa means an adjective. That's why they're calling it sifa. And mushabbaha, bismil fa'il, mushabbaha, they call it mushabbaha, which is similar to ismul fa'il. Hiya wasfun. This is also wasf. Mushtaqun. What do you mean by wasf? Wasf means thing which has both jins and ma'ana. Like there are things in the world, like book or pen, which are just things, jinsun, ajnas, which are just something which is a category. And there are some words which is having a meaning, like ilm, knowledge. We cannot see knowledge. Jinsun we can see. right? And some things which have both meaning as well as a person who's holding that. Like alimun, ismul fa'il. Alimun means he has knowledge. I mean, imagine this is knowledge and this is the person. So both are mixed. That's called a wasf, a description. He has something which we cannot see, that is knowledge, and he is a person. So this is called wasfun. I mean, just a technical term. I think in Qatrun Nada it comes. So wasfun mushtaqun lid-dalalati. It is derived for indication alal hadathi. So this also shows hadath, event, some action is taking place. وَمَنِ اتَّصَفَ بِهِ اتصافا لازما ثابتا. وَمَنِ اتَّصَفَ بِهِ, and whoever is ascribed to it. So this guy is not doing the action. He is being described to have that action in him. And that is not temporary. It's laziman thabitan. It's like permanent. Lazim means something compulsory. It's stuck to him. Right? Something which is stuck to him. Like you're noble, you'll always be noble. Unless something else happens. But generally speaking, you will be noble. Thabitan. La hadithan mutajaddidan. And it's not hadith. If you study Aqidah and all that, they have this hadith concept. Like hadith is something which is coming into existence. Like it's not into existence and then it comes into existence. That's called hadith. Yeah. Something qadim is something which is old, which hadith, or they give other terms for it. So la hadithan mutajaddidan, which is renewed all the time. So ismul fa'il is hadith mutajaddid, like jalisun, sitting. It's not something which is ascribed to me compulsory. I'm always sitting, right? Unless I cannot walk or something. But it's an action which I keep doing it. Mutajaddid. I sit, stand, lie down, or do whatever. So that's called renewing. This is not that. This is lazim thabit. Okay. Well, so he'll explain. وَالْأَفْعَالُ اللَّازِمَةُ الَّتِي تُصَاغُ مِنْهَا الصِّفَةُ الْمُشَبَّهَةُ. So these are the af'al lazima. You'll not create sifa mushabbah from any verbs. This is from af'al lazima, which are like permanent. Imma an takuna ala wazni fa'il. So how do you do it? On the pattern of fa'il. Imma an takuna ala wazni fa'ul. Or on the pattern of fa'ul. On two patterns, that's it, he says. Right? On fa'il and fa'ul. The verbs should be. The verbs, I should actually read it as fa'ila and fa'ula. That is, can come from sami'a and then karuma. Here, because I believe he's talking about verbs here, not nouns. Sorry. Fa'ila and fa'ula. And so let's talk about sami'a. Bab sami'a, no? Sami'a or hasiba, whatever. How do you make sifa mushabbaha from that? فإذا كان الفعل على وزن فاعل جاءت الصفة المشبهة منه على ثلاثة أوزان. Again, all this why we're learning, so that whenever you see a sifa mushabbaha, you can identify. If somebody says Kareem is noble, right? You should identify, okay, this is sifa mushabbaha. And why we need to identify, okay, I know just Kareem is noble, fine. Because sometimes this will also do amal. And it will take fa'il, it can take maf'ul and all that. You know, sometimes it could happen. And we'll see, inshallah ta'ala. So this is a little tricky because this is not being covered in Madina books. In Hidayat now also, this is a long discussion because there are a lot of combinations it could come. How you can do it. You can say Hasanun wajhuhu, his face is good. So Hasan, his face is the fa'il of the sifa mushabbah. Or you can say Hasanul wajhi, you can make mudaf mudaf, and then combinations of that. Hasanun wajhahu, Hasan wajhihi, or something. It's like they give you 12 combinations, and out of that they eliminate in Hidayat Nahu book, and then he eliminates this is not allowed, this is not allowed, this is allowed, this is the best, this is not the best. Just for sifa mushabbah case. So if it comes on Bab Samia, there'll be three patterns for ala thalathati awzan. Again, you cannot create this from whatever verb you want. We're just learning, like siyagh mubalagha, to know when you see it. So First one is الأول فاعل ومؤنثه فاعلة. So فاعل, for example, كما في قوله تعالى إنه لفرح فخور. إنه, I don't know where this verse is. Indeed, he is happy. So the verbs comes from فرح يفرح. So the ismul file technically should have been like, oh, its three letters should have been فرح. فرح. But did they use that? So let's go and search in al-ma'ani fariha. Fariha fahuwa farihun. They did not use it. They did not use farih. They instead use farih, who's happy. So this now farih is not called ismul fa'il. Happy and fakhur farihun. فإنه فرح المخلفون. I'm not getting this verse. إنه فرح فخور. إنه لا, it's لا فرح. Okay. إنه لفرح فخور. Allah says, وَلَئِنْ أَذَقْنَاهُ نَعْمَاءَ بَعْدَ ضَرَّاءَ. And if you give him a taste of prosperity after being touched with adversity, لَيَقُولَنَّ ذَهَبَ السَّيِّئَاتُ عَنْهُ. He will say, my evil things are gone. Ills are gone. إِنَّهُ لَفَرِحٌ. He will be exultant, prideful. After problems, if he feels happy, he'll forget all his problems. He'll be happy, very exultant. He'll waste and boastful for fakhur also. So farihun is created from fariha yafrahu. So we'll not say farihun is ismul fa'il. We'll say this is sifa mushabbaha. If you say ismul fa'il, that means he's doing the action of being happy. I mean, but he's happy. Happy kind of. It's not like an action kind of. It's laziman thabitan. That means he's always exultant. وقوله عز وجل سيعلمون غدا من الكذاب الأشر. And they will know tomorrow who is Ashir, who the liars. And this is Qamar. Ashir is insolent, boastful liar. Boastful. Ashir is boastful liar. So if I go into the dictionary, I'll be able to find what does Ashir mean. I think Ashir is to mean takabbar. Hamza Sheen Ra is the root letter. Ashara, ashuru, to sharpen something. Maybe some other word. Ashir, lively, high spirits. Yeah, Ashir, wild. It's called Ashir. Arrogant. They use nowadays to provide with the visa this verb. Ashara yashuru, tashir, tashiratu dukhul. Entry visa, exit visa. So Ashir is created from farih. So one pattern which is important is farihun, fa'ilun. وكذا قولنا لبق. Labiq. So I don't know what it means. So let's see labiq. So it's, if you notice, all of them are like internal things. Arrogant, boastful, happy. And then labuqa yalbuqu is to be clever. Labiq is like clever. Zakiyun, clever. Fatin is also skillful with a ta. Skillful. Khashin is hard. Khashina. So all these are from khashina yakhshan. Fatina yaftanu. Hard is something. Khashuna. Oh, khashuna, to be rough, crude. Because he actually said this is a fa'ila, but in the dictionary I'm finding this from khashuna also. Madeh is joyful. He's always joyful guy. Madeh, mim raha. He's always madih yamrahu. He's always cheerful, high spirits. Najis, which is not pure, najis. So you see, fa'il is one pattern. Next pattern is athani af'alu. On the pattern of af'al, you'll mean like what? Af'al? This is like comparative superlative? Yes. Yes, but these are nouns derived from the verbs. And muannath is fa'ala. What was the muannath here? Fa'ilatun. Here fa'ala. For example, kama fi qawli ta'ala, وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي هَذِهِ أَعْمَى. How was a'ma created? Blind. On this pattern, af'al from ayn mim ya. A'ma. فهو في الآخرة أعمى. Whoever in this في هذه in this world blind, he will be in the آخرة أعمى وأضل سبيلا. He lost his path. وقولنا سعامة was created on the pattern of أفعل. وقولنا الدجال أعور الأين. Dajjal is أعور, is one-eyed. أعور. So diseases also could be in this أفعال pattern, diseases. Or colors, because colors also generally they don't change. It's like لازم ثابت. وقوله تعالى إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. It is a yellow cow. It's bright in color. فاقع means bright in color. So colors and defects also might fall in this. تسر, which will please the onlookers. ناظرين, the one who are looking. So صفراء colors, no? أصفر feminine is صفراء. So this is also called صفة مشبهة. Then you have فعلان. فعلان مؤنثه فعلا, like جوعان, hungry, you know, hungry. All this is also called صفة مشبهة. كقوله تعالى ولما رجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان الصفة. And غضبان is from غضب, يغضب غضبان. He, whenever when Musa returned to his people, angry and sorrowful. وقولنا الدلو, what's this? ملآن. I mean, this is a mistake. I believe it should be ملآن. ملآن ماء. The bucket, dalw is bucket, is filled with water. ملآن ماء. Okay, so three patterns are important. Fa'il, af'al, and fa'alan. If you see them, then know that they are sifa mushabbaha. Fa'alan is very common. Jawan, Atshan, Madina books we taught us thirsty. But now you're learning these are sifa mushabbaha. You cannot call them ismul fa'il. Because if somebody says if it's ismul fa'il, then it should be on the pattern of fa'il. Or af'al also, for example. It's not ismul fa'il. وإذا كان, next one. وإذا كان, so three patterns for fa'ila. Inshallah, we'll repeat it in the next class. We'll just read it today, and then next class we'll read it again, and then do the exercise, inshallah, like we did for ismul maf'ul. To quickly read. وإذا كان الفعل اللازم على وزن فعل. He's just teaching us how to create sifa mushabbaha. If it's from fa'ula, I mean, you cannot generally create, but when you see the pattern, you can see it. You cannot take any fa'ula and then create on your own. You could technically if you know all the conditions, but صيغة الصفة المشبهة منه على أوزان كثيرة. Various patterns come في اللغة العربية وأشهر هذه الأوزان الست. From fa'ula, there's so many, he says, but he'll teach us only 6. He'll teach us sittah, 6. One is fa'il. You might be like, what? Fa'il? How is that possible? In Sigha Mubalagha also he taught us fa'il. How do you know which is Sigha Mubalagha and which is Sifa Mushabbaha? Well, if it is Muta'addi, if Muta'addi, transitive verb, it is Sigha Mubalagha. If it is something which is internal, if lazim, it is Sifa Mushabbaha. So same pattern could be used for both fa'il. So fa'il is common in both of them. Like وَنَحْوُ قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى أو قَوْلِهِ تَعَالَى وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِالذِّبْ. It should be ذَبْحٍ, no? بِذَبْحٍ عَظِيمٍ. Is it ذِبْحٍ? I'm not sure. فَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْحٍ عَظِيمٍ. ذِبْحٍ? Or is ذَبْحٍ? I don't know. ذبح. It's not searching. It's just searching for. بذبح عظيم. Okay. Yeah, it's with the kasra. ذبح. فديناه بذبح عظيم. All right, I think so, yeah. So عظيم is formed from that. عظيم. So he's great. عظومة. عظومة يعظوم. عظوم. عظيم. So it's not called ismul fa'il. So literally it should have been عظيم. No? Because 3 letters, that's how you create. But it's not used. عظيم is not used. فهو عظيم. So he is the عظيم. So you won't say it's fa'il. You'll say this is صفة مشبهة. وقوله تعالى وذق إنك أنت العزيز الكريم. Indeed, you are great. Aziz is also one who has izzah, respect. Allah is will take sarcastically out to humiliate them. Taste this punishment. Indeed, you are the great and the noble Azizul Karim. Another pattern where fa'ula is used, fa'alun. نحو قولنا المؤمن سمح الخلق. سمح. Samh means someone who is samah. How do you say it? Samaha. So allow, but generous. Same like karuma, kind of generous. Samhul khuluqi. He is just generous attitude, generous character. Like Karim. وقولنا النيل عذب ماؤه. عذب. So fa'alun is an pattern. Adhbun is sweet water. Nile, its water is sweet or palatable. وَكَذَا قَوْلُنَا سَهْلٌ. Some sahula, it becomes sahal. And sa'uba, it becomes sa'ab. And dakhuma, to become heavy. Dakhmun. Another pattern is fu'al. نحو المؤمن شجاع عند لقاء العدو. The believer is brave when he meets the enemy. And similarly, furat, some faruta. Euphrates is given the name like that. I don't know what faruta means, but furat is Euphrates. Because in the dictionary it's not there. Then ujaj is also something. Ujaj is salty water. Ujaj. Yeah. وهذا ملح ujaj. Unpalatable, unable to drink. Adhbun opposite. Ujaj, milhun ujaj. So ujaj is also formed from that. Then fa'al. Fa'al. Nahu al-kafiru jabanul qalb jaban. So all of these are internal, no? The kafir is jabanul qalb, is covered in the heart. Nahu hadhihi imra'atun sana'ul yad. This woman has a crafty hand. Sana'a or sanu'a. Sana'al yad. Crafty or good hand. Which can create many things. Sana, designing hand. Now Hassan from Hasad Noon. Hassan. Something like Hasana Yahsunu is to be fortified, chaste. So Hassan is created, or Hisan. Hisan is a horse. Some are saying strength, chaste. Hassan, chaste. Razan. Fa'al pattern. Razan. From Raz, Za, and Noon. Razan. Razuna, Yarzun, serious. I mean, composed, calm, serious guy. Razan. And then we have fifth pattern, Fa'alun. Fa'al. كقوله تعالى من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسن. Hasan, and whoever will give Allah a good loan. وَيُضَاعِفَهُ لَهُ أَضْعَافًا كَثِيرًا. Allah will multiply it many times. So Hasan is one example. And Batal, Khalid bin Walid, Batal, brave person, Batal, like Shuja, or Batal is the combatant or soldier or hero. Batalul Islam is a hero of Islam, Batal. Sixth pattern, sixth and last, فعل كقولنا العنب حلو المذاق. العنب حلو المذاق. Thabita, which is continuous. So he's just giving, these things. which is ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul, would also come. And then this sifa, difference between mushabbaha and this thing. If it is temporary, it is ismul fa'il. If it is permanent, it is sifa mushabbaha. Inshallah, we'll read it again next time. ويجوز في الصفة المشبهة أن ترفع ما بعدها على أنه فاعل. It can do مرفوع العنب حلو مذاقه, the grapes, it's sweet in its taste. وأن تنصيبه على أنه مشبه بالمفعول. It can also make it منصوب إن كان معرفة, if it is معرفة, مثل العنب حلو المذاق. So he gave a condition in kana ma'rifatan, if it is ma'rifa. So al-madaq should be ma'rifa, he says. So then only it's allowed to have a maf'ul. And tansibahu ala annahu tamiz, you can make it tamiz also. إذا كان نقرة على عنب حلو مذاقا. Grapes are sweet in taste. كما يجوز أن تجره على أنه مضاف إليه مثل العنب حلو المذاق. You can make it majur also, مضاف مضاف إليه also. Just whatever اسم الفاعل is. ولذلك يمكن أن نقول مثلا, you can say محمد حسن وجهه. This is what I talked about. No, all combinations you can do. You can say حسن وجهه. Oh, that means his face is good. Or محمد حسن الوجه. We can take a mansub. Or محمد حسن وجها. We can make it tamyiz. محمد حسن الوجه. Muhammad has a good face. مضاف مضاف إليه. Inshallah, we'll read this again in Sifa Mushabba and then create, do the exercise. Inshallah. After Sifa Mushabba, we have Ismut Tafdil. Ismut Tafdil also is a little tricky. And then Ismul Zaman wa Makan. And then Ismul Ala. Ismul Ala is also there. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallahu Khairan. Barakallahu feek. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.